April 5th, 2016 at about 9 p.m. This Terrapin, around 8 years old, came in this morning with a complaint that both eyes are swollen and shut tight. And this was true when it came in. So the owners were rather worried because with the eyes closed, the Terrapin does not eat much or does not want to eat. And we give antibiotics and put him in a clean area with not being submerged in water. According to the owner and her domestic helper, they think that the eyelids were swollen for the last 2 weeks, but they did not know really what was the duration of the swelling. But as you can see from here, the eyelids are definitely inflamed, and some, especially on the right eye. Now on the left eye, it's not so bad. So you can see that he opens his left eye more. He opens his left eye more than his right eye. Actually, this is a female. No, male. This is a male. He opens his left eye more. You can see when you observe closely. So we will continue treatment with eye drops and antibiotic first, instead of sending home straight away, although it's only about 10 hours ago that this Terrapin comes in. Now this Terrapin is quite a big one. It's about 8 years old, weighing over one kilo. Now, as you can notice, this Terrapin was kept in a tank, but last 2 weeks, because he wasn't eating much, so the domestic helper kept him submerged in a tank with the food, prawns and fish mainly, as this Terrapin does not eat pellets. At other times, the Terrapin is left to roam in the apartment. So that is the lifestyle of this Terrapin. But submerging the Terrapin too long in a small tank would expose him to contaminated water. So that affects his eyelids, and he had very painful swollen eyes. So he did not want to eat. But according to the domestic helper, the water is always very dirty, but she could see that the pieces of prawns, fish and pork were not eaten. And so she kept the Terrapin longer in the water. Now those black ones are the stools, longer in the water, and of course being submerged under the small tank in water with food and plenty of bacteria multiplying in the water. This affects the Terrapin's eyelids, since he had no chance to dry himself. But now we put him in a clean area with less exposure of his eyelids to submerge him in water. So you can see that his eyelids are less swollen, and definitely there's a chance that he will recover fully and will go back to his own lifestyle of short periods, maybe 2 hours in a tank to eat, and drink and swim and pass water. But in Singapore the tanks are very small, like this is quite small, so the owner's tank was even half of this. So for big terrapins, they need a bigger tank to eat and pass motion. And since this terrapin does not eat pellets, so it has been pampered with fresh pieces of prawns, fish, pork and chicken meat. And so as you can see, overall it's quite good size. Much loved terrapin. And now that the eyes are open, as you can see now, so chances of him recovering after 2 or 3 days should be much better than being at home. Now you can see the eyes are opened, so he should feel much better. Definitely there is some rubbing of the eyelids, especially the right one. You can see it's quite swollen, upper and lower eyelids. And so the news is good that these terrapins will have recovered from the swollen eyes and will be able to enjoy his life again. Toa Payoh Vets, Tuesday, April 5, 2016. Complaint of terrapin with swollen eyes. Swollen eyes for the last 2 weeks due to the fact that he was submerged in the tank with food and his tools for more than maybe 4 hours with the contaminated water affecting his eyes. So now that the eyes are open, but you can see there's some, especially the right eye, some roughness due to rubbing from his paws, claws, yeah. So that might be the reason why he closed both eyes most of the time. And that's why the owners did some Googling and came to Toa Payoh Vets for treatment. April 5, 2016, 9 p.m. Singapore.